Hello, today I want to share with you a little bit about my second novel in the Making a Miller romance series. It's called Capturing the Heart. Let me read to you first the back cover, and then I'm going to read you an excerpt from the cover in here. Capturing the Heart. Jackie Mason's life had not been the same since her husband died over 2 years ago. Although she tried to be both mother and father to her two teenage kids, she couldn't help but feel lonely and a bit bitter. Still holding on to her deep love for her deceased husband, Jackie knew she could never truly love again. To make matters worse, her 13-year-old daughter Jocelyn had found solace, but why did it have to be in a bad boy, the new kid in town who flat out scared Jackie? Matt Spencer's dream had finally come true. Becoming head coach of his alma mater, the Miller Mustangs football team, meant he had nothing left to wish for. At least that's what he thought, until he met Jackie Mason, the mother of one of his brightest young players, and realized there could be more to life than coaching football. How could he capture her heart the way she had captured his? 22 years ago, as a starry-eyed sophomore girl, Jackie had suffered through a crush on the senior star football player, Matt Spencer. Of course, he didn't know she existed, and worse yet, he had a reputation of being a ladies' man. Her commitment to God would never let her become involved with him. However, here he was now, a completely changed man and interested in her. Could she put his past and her memories of her husband's behind her? Read the book and find out. All right, let me give you an excerpt from the book here. And I don't think I'm going to be giving anything away with it, but here's just a scene from after Matt and Jackie are understanding that, hey, they are falling in love. Jackie was almost finished cleaning up Matt's kitchen when he and Lacey entered. Eric and one other coach were all that remained, and they were glued to Matt's computer set up in the corner of the living room, checking on football scores from around the state. "You didn't have to do that," Matt stated as he approached Jackie to give her a slight side hug, "but thank you all the same." "It's not a problem," Jackie answered. "Someone had to do it, and I didn't want to leave you with this mess." "Isn't she wonderful?" Lacey teased as she stepped out of his kitchen to go fetch her husband. "Yes," Matt responded, even though Lacey was no longer in the room. "Here's a dish rag." Jackie tossed a small towel at him. "The island hasn't been wiped down yet." Matt began to wipe down the countertop as the last of his guests said their goodbyes and departed. "I'm so glad you came tonight." Matt put his arms around Jackie's waist. "This has been a great night." "A win will do that for you," she answered, resting her head on his chest. "It's not just the win." He held her tight. I enjoyed being with you tonight." "I enjoyed it too. You have a great set of people you work with." "Yeah, they are," he smiled at her. "I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to work with. And their wives and girlfriends are also supportive as well. They are all like family to me." "I've really enjoyed sitting with them the last couple of games," she smiled at him, willing her eyes not to look away from him. "They are all great women and are quickly becoming friends." "I like you sitting with them. It makes it easier to find you in the stands," he laughed. "I just have to look for the block of blue shirts." "Speaking of blue shirts," she blushed, trying hard to keep the red hue on her face from becoming visible. "I think I need a new shirt." "Did you spill something or tear the one I gave you already?" he asked, pulling himself to arm's length away from her as he examined her shirt with his eyes. "No, nothing wrong with this shirt," she skittishly announced. "I just think I need one with different wording on it." Her heart beat faster as a smile began to grow on his lips, in recognition of what she was implying. However, before she could even begin to wonder if her comments were too forward, his eyes locked in on the stitching above her left breast. "There's nothing wrong with being a Mustang mom," he grinned. "In fact, I think you are the hottest Mustang mom in the program." She felt the red blush engulf her face. She knew that she was nowhere near the best-looking mom in the program. Without even trying, her mind quickly counted a dozen other women who she knew would be considered much more beautiful than she was. If she took more time, she could probably come up with 20 or so more. Still, she had to admit that those words coming from Matt made her blush from a combination of embarrassment and gratitude. "But," Matt continued, "I do think I would rather see you in a different shirt." "And what shirt would that be?" she asked, feeling herself being physically drawn closer to him. "As much as I like you being the mom of my new quarterback, as well as the mom of an upcoming great girls basketball player," he stated as his lips closed in towards hers, "I'd love to see you wearing a shirt that said, 'Coach's girlfriend.'" The words, "I'd like that," barely escaped her lips before they were softly yet firmly met by his lips, igniting a spark of electricity that surged through her entire body. "Wow," she gasped a few minutes later when their lips parted, then immediately realized that that was a silly response to her first kiss in years. "Wow is right," he grinned at her. Did she see a slight shade of red on his face too? "I've been wanting to do that since the moment I met you." "Really?" she laughed. "Since high school?" "That's not what I meant," he shifted uncomfortably. "I meant when I actually remember meeting you a few months ago." "I guess it took me a little longer. I mean, this time since high school," she admitted. "But yes, I've been wanting the same thing." She shifted nervously on her feet, becoming acutely aware of his words resting on her lips. But it was well worth it. "So you are now officially a coach's girlfriend?" he asked as he once again pulled her towards him. She smiled and half completed a nod before his lips once again brushed against hers. She leaned backwards, resting her weight on the kitchen counter. Was this the Matt Spencer's charm that she remembered hearing about in high school? It didn't matter right now. She was now the one melting in his arms. Now, just so you know, this is a clean romance novel, so nothing inappropriate does take place after this. But this is just a little excerpt. Sorry about the stuttering of the reading. It's a little bit dark where I'm reading right now, but maybe you get the point of what's happening in here. So if you would like to get this book and read it, you can find it on the paperback. You can order it on Amazon.com. Just look for my name, Steve Biddison, and you will find all my books there, and Capturing the Heart is one of the ones listed on there. If you want it in the Kindle format, you can also buy it there on Amazon.com, or if you want it in most any other e-reader format, it's available that way too, however you normally buy books on those e-readers. So thank you for listening to the excerpt here from Capturing the Heart, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow.